Howdy y'all, my name is Josh and welcome back to another Nitecore store video. And today I want to take a look at the SRT7i. Now this has been on the market for a while now, but it's one of our most popular lights and frankly it's one of my favorites as well. And so please make sure to like and subscribe, and here's 7 reasons why I love the SRT7i. Alright, and reason number 1 why I love the SRT7i. First off, just the amount of brightness in the beam. 3000 lumens is no small amount of lumens. You can see it on screen here, coming off of that high of a candela with that deep of a reflector. It's going to be packing a lot of punch and a lot of intensity. And while 3000 lumens is a lot, it's not going to be just a crazy amount like 10,000 or 20,000 of our TM series. This is going to be enough to light up anything that you need it to while not just completely draining the battery. And I really like this beam's profile. Combining that SRT7i LED with this overall deep reflector, it's going to have a decent amount of spill for your everyday task while having a massive amount of throw for pretty much anything else. The only real criticism I have of the beam shape is going to be how the bezel creates 3 indents in the overall beam shape. However, as you can see right here, they're not going to be that pronounced, and so it's more of a nitpick than an actual critique. And now for feature number 2 that I love about the SRT7i, although in all fairness, this is probably my favorite feature. And it's going to be this right here, the metal USB-C cover. Whenever I first saw this USB-C cover, I was in love because most lights nowadays have this rubber port, which is nice. I mean, it does protect your USB-C port from dust and water and all that. But the thing is, it always feels too temporary for me. These lights are premium lights. You pay a decent amount of money for them. And I'm always scared that I'm gonna accidentally rip this off or it's just going to get brittle over time. However, you have nothing to worry about with this USB-C cover right here, because it's just a little hinge and it'll keep your USB-C port completely dry, completely dust-free, and it's never going to wear away, get brittle, or anything like that. I love the fact that it's full metal. And just the fact that this has a USB-C port built in is amazing. I mean, USB-C is the universal port, pretty much everything has it nowadays. And if you're plugging it in late at night because you just got done using your flashlight and you can't see the port because that's what you're charging up your light, it's bi-directional, meaning that you can either plug it in like this, or you can flip it upside down and plug it in like this, which doesn't happen with the USB micro or just regular USB. And so it's really easy to charge and it's universal, which is amazing. Reason number 3, the SRT7i is going to be durable. It's a workhorse and it will just never stop working. It's one of the most reliable flashlights that I've ever held in my hands. It's going to be IP68 waterproof, 2-meter drop resistant, and it's going to have probably one of the best battery systems that I've seen. Let me unscrew the tail cap for you here. This is going to be a 21700 size 5000 milliamp hour I-series battery. And as you can see on both ends, there's going to be a positive and a negative pole, meaning that whenever it's jostling around there in the light, it's going to have 2 times the amount of contacts as compared to a traditional battery. And giving y'all a close-up look at the electronics of the tube and the tail cap, you can see that there are 2 points of contact, both on the outside and the inside, for the positive and negative, making sure that whenever you drop your light or whenever you smash it against something, it's always going to keep that contact and it's going to keep your light strong. And so while it isn't my favorite that the I-series batteries are so proprietary, I mean, you can't even use them across all Nitecore lights, they will only work in I-series lights, they still work extremely well for what they're supposed to do in terms of keeping your light working and being extremely durable. And so while it is going to be very proprietary, it's going to be very useful in the SRT7i. Reason number 4 I love the SRT7i are going to be these inlaid silicon nitride glass breakers. You can see 3 of them speckling the bezel right here. And I mean, there's not a lot to say. It's awesome that you can break glass with them and they don't increase the overall weight or the overall footprint of this light too much. And so it's just a nice little addition. And reason number 5 I love the SRT7i is going to be its UI. We can first look at its namesake, which is going to be the SRT or the Smart Ring technology, which is going to be this ring right here. You can see the little arrow and it's pointing to the lock. It starts in lockout and then it goes to the 0.1 lumen ultra low. Then you have the steplet spit right here where you can go anywhere between this 0.1 lumen and all the way up to 3000 lumens. So literally any brightness in between there, you can set your own. It's infinitely adjustable, as they like to say. And then up here, there's going to be this tactical where it's going to have the momentary on and off. And I like it as it's just very intuitive. You can feel the clicks as you go in between all this modes, except for the stepless bit. And it just overall feels really clean, and it will give you a lot of control over your light. And then at the back of the light, you have this dual tail switch, comprised of both the mode pedal and the power button. If you were to half press this mode pedal, it'll go to the high output, the 3000 lumen output, no matter where you are on the tactical ring. And then if you were to full press it, it will give you an instant strobe, and then the power button turns it on and then back off. And then by half pressing the power button, it'll give you a momentary on and off. And as for operation, that's gonna be just about it. And it can be a little bit tricky to get it under your fingers with all the moving parts, but the fact that it's one-hand operable and a stepless brightness flashlight, it's going to be really impressive and surprisingly intuitive once you get to handle the flashlight a little bit more. Number 6 is the runtime, which is going to be a little bit hard to measure because of the stepless nature of this light, but I did find a pretty good graph off of Candle Power Forums, so thank you for that. I do wish that it had a little bit better run times, but I could honestly say that about any light on the market right now. And I do wish that it had a better battery indicator, as right now it's just going to be this single light right here that doesn't change color, it just flashes as it gets lower. But for tactical situations, it's all right, and you can always carry around extra batteries because the battery is going to be removable, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And here finally at number 7, the size of the SRT7i is going to be amazing. First off, it's going to have a standard size 40mm head. Just from our website, you can attach both a traffic wand and probably more practically, a filter onto it, meaning that it can fit pretty much any scenario that you need it to. And on top of all the flexibility you get from the attachments, it's going to have a good size as it's going to be compact, but not tiny to where you're cramping your thumb trying to use the tail switch. And as well as that, it's going to have a good weight behind it, meaning that you can swing it around, use it for self-defense, and break through glass while not being very heavy. It's going to be more or less the gold standard whenever it comes to dimensions on medium-sized flashlights. Well guys, I really hope that y'all enjoyed checking out the SRT7i with me. If you want to check out the original in-depth overview, I will have that both in the description and in the overhead eye icon right now. If not, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sticking around here till the end, and we will see you in the next one.